Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Saturday, the 22nd of June. Hi, I'm Paul. I'll be your host this morning. In the news today, we'll catch up on the NRL news, as there's been a shock signing yesterday for the Warriors. We'll also catch up on the NBA, NBL, and Sal's NBL basketball action. Both Kiwis, two Kiwis in action in the World in the squash at world finals level, as well as boxing news. We've got golf news in the PGA, the European Tour, and the LPGA, and also Formula One news as well. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. Before we get on to all of that, don't forget the cycling is its biggest event is kicking off with the Tour de France starting tonight. So we'll be keeping you up to speed with that every morning at 7 a.m. here on the Morning Sports Briefing. So don't forget to keep us on the dial. You can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, or you can catch the show as a podcast as well. Moving on then to the golf. And in the PGA, it's the Travelers Championship over there with Danny Lee in action in the USA. Had a bit of a tough start in this one, where he is down in 96th place, 1 under par after the first round. Gooch on 8 under par currently leads, with Watson back in the clubhouse also on 8 under par here on the second round. Over the European Tour, it's the BMW International Open. There in that one, we've got two golfers in this one. Kearney of Ireland leads at 11 under par, with the best place Kiwi, Geary, at 33rd at 4 under par. Ryan Fox is also on this one. He's down in tied at 57th place at 2 under par there on that one as well. The big tournament of the weekend, though, is the Women's PGA Championship over in the USA. Currently, there are two. Boutier of France leads in the clubhouse at 7 under, and Salas of the USA is also at 7 under, out on the course in the second round there. Lydia Ko's early season form seems to, unfortunately, have abandoned her. She's down in tied 55th place at 2 over par after 5 holes on the second round. So hopefully she'll finish off stronger in the second round to lift herself up into a better position on that one. Over in motor racing, and it's the Formula One is in action this weekend with the Styrian Grand Prix, and in practice, Valtteri Bottas has been handled a penalty because he spun his car in the pit lane. Obviously, that's extremely dangerous with all the mechanics and people around. Something that's basically unprecedented for that kind of thing to happen. So he was in second gear and lost control of his car. So yeah, really dangerous stuff there. And he's been, handled penalty for that. So obviously, we'll keep up to speed with how that's how the Formula One goes over the weekend. In shock news, Shaun Johnson will be returning to the New Zealand Warriors after signing a 2-year deal over here next season. The Brad and Richie from The Standoff did a special show yesterday discussing his return. You can catch it on Facebook, YouTube, and I'll be putting that up as a podcast this morning. They're extremely positive about his return to the Warriors, and are really looking forward to seeing him back this side of the Tasman. No games this weekend in the NRL, as it's State of Origin on Sunday evening. So that's not, nothing else to report on that side of things. In the rugby, there is the Maori All Blacks versus Samoa this evening at 7 p.m. Don't forget to join me for live post-match reaction straight after the game. Also, overnight, the Lions will be kicking off their tour with a game against Japan up in Edinburgh before they fly out to South Africa. We'll be back at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening on Sunday to round up all the international action from the weekend. In boxing news, and Sonny Bill Williams will be returning to the ring for his first professional fight since 2015. This has not been promoted and is going to be deliberately a warm-up fight to get the rust out of things as he prepares for big money fights coming up. This one has definitely flown under the radar as he'll be taking on Waikato Falafehi in that one. This is being headlined by Mark Flanagan's tilt against Ben Kelleher for the Australian cruiserweight title. But down the card, Sonny Bill Williams will be having his first fight in a long time. Over in the basketball then, and in the NBL over in Australia, Melbourne United have swept the Wildcats 3-0 in the finals there, winning 81-76 yesterday and to be crowned champions of the NBL. So congratulations to Melbourne United in that one. Over in the NBA and in the East, the Atlanta Hawks have taken a 1-0 lead over the Milwaukee Bucks, 116 to 113 in that opening game of the Eastern Conference Finals. Over in the West, and the Clippers have pulled one back against the Suns, 106 to 92. So the Suns now lead 2-1. The Bucks and Hawks are in action today at 12:30 New Zealand time. In the Sal's NBL, and two games to catch up on. The Canterbury Rams beat the Franklin Bulls 87 to 71 up in Auckland. A comfortable win there, perhaps not by as much as you're expecting. And the Taranaki Mountaineers got themselves a rare win, beating the Manawatu Jets at home. So they've got that win down there in New Plymouth, 104 to 93. So really good news for the Taranaki Mountaineers, having a tough old season. 3 games today. The Southland Sharks take on the Auckland Huskies. The Hawke's Bay Hawks host the Franklin Bulls, and the Manawatu Jets will be hosting the Canterbury Rams. Both those teams having to go. The Manawatu Jets back-to-back and played last night, and Canterbury Rams having played 2 nights ago in that one. Over in the squash, and as I say, it's the World Tour finals. There, Paul Cole has beaten Joel Makin 6-11, 11-4, 12-10. In that one, so a good result for Paul Cole now with back-to-back wins in that one. Also, Joel King in her 400th match on the PSA Tour won in straight sets 12-10, 11-7 against Sarah Jane Perry to make it 2 wins out of 2 games for her as well. She is now qualified for the semi-finals with 1 game to go up against El Hamami for that one. Both those 2 athletes have made it through to the semi-finals, and it's just about who comes first and second in their Group B for seedings in that one. So great results for both Paul Cole and Joel King over there in the World Tour Finals. You have now started the day the best way up to speed with all of the important sports news. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your weekend, folks. And I say, don't forget to join me this evening after the Maori All Blacks versus the Samoa Test.